What's going on, buddy?
Hey,
I got a couple questions for you. You rebuilt the transmission for Dakota in a blue Dodge Ram.
I have no idea.
It was a 2001. He called you over the weekend, told you it was sitting on the side of the road.
Yeah, I talked to him. But man, I done been doing this 30-some years. So I done did about $1 million.
Well, I took it to a shop, and the guy dropped the pan. He pulled these two parts out, said, "This is what's wrong with it." He said, "Either you can go pick them up, or he said, I can go pick them up." And I said, "Man, I just had the transmission rebuilt." I said, "It can't." Dakota told me when he called you that you replaced the clutch pack and all the shift solenoids and Cody said it was completely rebuilt for $900. And I was like, "Man, that's a good deal." He said, "I grew up with the guy's son." He said, "I'm good buddies with him." I'm like, "Well, shoot, yeah, I don't have the time to pull it, and I really don't have the way to pull it out." So Dakota said that you do it all for $900.
Now for 900, I know I would replace all the electrics, but I don't know exactly. Does he have a receipt to it?
Dakota's got the receipt.
Yeah, he need to bring out. Let me see what I put on it.
Well, then he called me back, and I don't know how much he gave you, but I know you wrote a receipt and put it in the book. But I ended up giving Dakota $1,300. So I don't know how much money he gave you or what all he. Because I'm not saying maybe Dakota just told you to do just a clutch pack in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there was a failure to communicate on which part.
Well, what you got to look at here is, like I told you, man, how many have I done in 32 years?
But I paid $1,300 for completely rebuilt with new parts.
Now I don't know nothing about that.
That's
a pressure solenoid.
That's not new. I mean, the guy told me that looks like a dog been chewing on it.
Could have, but
There's
I
no
don't
way.
know.
This was inside the pan.
Right. I don't know how the dog gonna get in there and chew on that.
He was being sarcastic by saying this is a used part, or this was probably original. What I'm saying is that I brought the truck down here because it was shifting horrible, and I get the truck back and it wouldn't even shift out of first gear, and it sat down here for a month. So me and Dakota brought it back over here, and then that was a Thursday. And then I picked it up that following Monday, and I've been having to literally pull it down in first gear, shift a second, because I didn't want to bring it back down here and sit.
Oh.
Because I need my truck to get around. So I paid $1,300 to get my truck back shifting worse than it was. And I take it to this guy, and he says, I just told him what it was doing, and he says, "It's these two parts." He said, "Go get them." So I went to WIT, which I got a huge discount on them. So I don't know how much money Dakota gave you. I'm not trying to cause no problems. I just know that I paid $1,300 to get my transmission pulled out and rebuilt, and the guy's like, "There's no way." There was so much trash. When he pulled the pan out, that magnet was full of trash. And I've had like 5 transmissions rebuilt. I've never had a problem out of one. I've never dropped a pan. I get them serviced every 25,000 miles, and you drop the pan, you see the magnet, and I mean it's just caked. I mean on this one part right here, I mean that's just the residue. Cody's like, "This is just what didn't fall off." Because like, "Oh man, you're gonna see trash down in there." Not for it being a couple of months old, the whole magnet completely covered with little metal shavings.
Right.
I mean, I paid $1,300. Like I told Dakota, I said, "Look, if you just pay me back for the parts that I had to put in it, you can call and see how much you can get them for. And if you can get them cheaper than I had to pay for them, then that's fine. But I think that would be the fair thing to do."
Yeah, that's what you think. What you need to do is get the receipt and bring it.
I got it right here.
This is what I give you? No, I mean my receipt. What did I do to it?
Well, that's how convenient everything got. Dakota lost it. See, I think Dakota gave you less than $1,300. What I think. See, I think Dakota told you that, hey, just do whatever you got to do to patch it back together and make it shift. That's what I think. I don't know if Dakota
I know
did or
Dakota,
not.
but I don't know. He didn't tell me nothing about it. I don't remember nothing about no patching, putting something back together. And you saying a dog been under the pan eating on the
No. The guy that took this out said the way that it's been pried on, he said there's no way this part's new.
I mean, if it's not new, why would it even be taken off? That's on the valve body. You just pull a clip and that'll come out.
But this was what was supposed to have been replaced when you worked on it.
Right, and it probably was if you see it. Well,
I
if you
watched
know
the
what
guy
it
drop
is,
the pan.
if you know what it is, like I said, I need a receipt. See what I did to.
Don't you have it in your ticket book? Because you wrote it out too, Dakota.
Uh,
I stood there
I
right
have to
there
go
and
through
watched.
my paperwork to talk about it. You know, to do that. You just walking in. I don't even know you from Adam. I didn't do the work for you, and that means a lot. When I work on a car, if you sell it, I'm not going to repair it for the next guy if it goes out. And I need to see the paperwork to see how long it's been.
It ain't even been a month. I mean, it ain't been a month and a half tops.
Right. See, you said a month and a half,
Yeah.
2 months. I mean,
It sat right there for 30 days. I drove by and watched it sit right there for 30 days.
That could be true too. But what I need to know is where's the paperwork so I can see what's going on with this. You know what? You walking in here, I never seen you in my life. I'm not,
Dakota said it wouldn't be no problem for you to write me out another receipt. So since Dakota's a third party, do you want to give him a call?
No, you need to have Dakota come in here with a receipt. Let me see what I done to the car.
Can we call him right quick?
That ain't gonna do no good. I need to see the paperwork, what I done to it.
All I know is I paid $1,300, and
You
you.
didn't pay it to me. Then that makes a difference.
I gave Dakota the money sitting right there, and he said that you would give him a better deal if you built the transmission for him.
Which I probably did.
The last time I had transmission rebuilt, I got totally upside down screwed on it. So that made me really leery about going to another transmission shop.
Well, where else you gonna get a transmission fixed?
Amco,
Is that a transmission shop?
right next to store to whatever it takes.
That's a transmission shop, right? Right. Wherever you go is what you do. That's why you got warranties on them.
That will. When we left, the thing wouldn't shift out of first gear. We brought it back.
And it set them up.
No, it set for 4 days after that. And then when me and Dakota pulled up, you had it sitting right there next to that Chevrolet with a hood pop pouring fluid in it. You said, I got it fixed. And when we drove out of here, Dakota was falling right behind me. And you rebuilt transmission in his truck, that Silverado. We're going right down Galton Road, and I had him on the phone. We stopped at Shell, Galton Road, and Hickory Boulevard. And he said, man, how's it shifting? I said, dude, it's junk. And he said, well, you want to turn around and take it back? And I said, no, that's the only way I have to get my family around.
Yeah, see, you should have brought it back.
I had
if
to-
it wasn't shifting right.
And let it sit here for another month.
If that's, you can't.
I know you're
I
busy.
got cars out here. Some of them been out here 3 months. I got one been out here 6 months. Okay, that don't matter how long it's been here. This guy ain't been in town. I ain't heard from him. And if I'm busy, it want to be there. I can work on one at a time.
Dakota, when he
And-
originally
and-
called, he said, dude, you'll have it back in a week. He said, I promise, a week.
Okay.
And I understood. He said, you had death in the family. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. And then another week goes. And then another week goes. And then 30 days a day, we come up here to get it. And we made it from here to the red light over across the bridge, and it never shifted out of first gear. Never shifted out of first gear. Because they was doing road construction, and you couldn't go fast down through there. And I was like, Cody, it ain't shifting. He said, let's turn around and take it back to him.
Right. That's what you should have done from the start. You don't keep driving them. If you
But if
keep
I'm-
driving them with a problem, it's not how long it's been here. If you keep driving a truck with a problem, it's gonna affect something. When it had a problem, that's when you should have brought it back.
When we brought it back we picked it up Thursday about 10, 11 o'clock, brought it right back at like 11:15, like 15, 20 minutes later we brought it back. And then it sat here from Thursday to the following Monday till I got it back. I can't afford to let a truck sit, which when I paid to fix it. This dude right here charged me $50 and fixed it in an hour. $50. And this is probably all that was wrong with it in the beginning, because it shifted better than it did after I picked it up from you the second time.
Oh man, I don't know nothing about that. These things here, everything you do has got a warranty on it. Don't you understand? That's what
There's no warranty. This is a factory part. Okay, when I took it to WIT,
Why has it got Mopar on it?
I bought it from WIT.
And it's Mopar factory.
This is what was taken out of my transmission.
And you gonna tell me that's not factory?
This is dealer. This is from 2001. This is an original.
2001.
That's what year the truck is.
That's original Silonds.
This is what you're supposed to replace.
Man, I don't know. Get that. Like I say, you got to get the code over who I did the work for over here. You can't tell me. I don't know. I just can't sit here and tell you what's in this card here I did or that car I did. I got to look at the paperwork to find out. 32 years? I don't remember all of that. And if you got a problem with a car, you bring it back for the warranty. That's why you get a warranty on it.
And let it sit?
Well, let it sit whatever it takes to get it fixed. You don't know if it's going to sit 1 day or 2 days. These cars, I can't tell you that one there is coming back. The guy's supposed to put a drive shaft in it. He didn't. It's sitting out there leaking. Right now, you look under, it's leaking out the drive shaft. And he says something is wrong with it. You drive a car leaking, what am I supposed to do?
I don't think the transmission was ever pulled on my truck.
You don't even think it was taken out?
There's no way.
Yeah, right.
I really don't.
Well, that's what you think. Like I said, that's what I give a warranty for. And I don't go around, I'm going to charge you for a rebuild and don't even fucking go through the unit.
I'm being serious as a heart attack. I don't think when you was called, you were told that, hey, it needs to be completely rebuilt. I really don't.
Man, I know that kid. Ain't no way in the hell I'm going to fuck that boy over. You got to be crazy. I don't do that type of work. I don't patch and pull. If I did a rebuild on it, it's got every brand new clutch in it. And if I told him I put them in new, that's what I did.
But those aren't new. I'm not trying to jerk your chain. I'm not asking for a handout.
I'm here to give no handout, but I'm here to cover my work I do.
There's like $200 and worth of receipts right here. And I don't care if you can get these cheaper than I got them for. The fair thing would be is you pay me for what I had to buy to fix my transmission right.
Well,
that sucker ain't never shifted like this, and I paid $1,300 to get it fixed.
I don't know that.
I gave Dakota $1,300. If you look through your book and it's less than $1,300, then there's a big problem somewhere. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, what you need to do is get
because I watched you write out the receipt. I went and used your bathroom right around the corner. And then I come back around the corner, and y'all had already swapped money, and you was filling out the receipt. You said, Dakota, I'm going to give you a 3-month warranty. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give you a 6-month warranty on it. And I watched you write out the receipt.
Mm-hmm. Now, where's the receipt? That's what I need to know.
Dakota lost it. Then he said you would write him out another receipt. Because when we left here, I was so
I talked to him Saturday, and I told him he's supposed to have the thing towed here.
Yeah, the transmission line on the transmission, it literally, like how it came out bent, it looked like somebody was tightening and bent the line and broke the line going down the road. It just busted and blew out all the fluid on the side of the road. I went and bought an adapter that screws inside the transmission, which is another thing. The vacuum line, it threw a code. As soon as I get the truck home, shifting like crap, I get a code saying vacuum leak. I take the truck, have it smoked, and the vacuum lines where y'all had it up on a lift or jacked it up or whatever to look at whatever you did under the truck. It broke the vacuum lines going from the truck down to the front differential. And it was sitting there sucking in the air right there because it was throwing a vacuum leak. I mean, which was no big deal. What did I do? I cut the lines and put it back together. You know, I wasn't trying to make no big fuss about that.
Right. See, everything, like I tell you, you should have brought it back for repair if you had a problem with it. And, you know, once you take it to another shop, the warranty is voided anyways.
I'm not worried about the warranty. I mean, I can't afford to let it sit is what I was getting at.
Well,
this is what I paid to have replaced in the beginning. These are not new parts. These are old parts that came out of the transmission.
I don't put old parts in it.
No, I think you put the same parts back in it.
Not if it come with a shifting problem, and when it
left with a worse shifting problem. When I left, it wouldn't come out of first gear. You got to remember that.
Right.
no way
I
you
remember
can.
you coming back, but when you come back, what do you think I did? Did poof and it fixed it?
I think you pulled this out, cleaned it, and stuck it right back in.
Oh shit! I don't do that type of work, dude.
This is an old part. You got to admit that. This is an old part.
I'm not admitting to that. I don't put old parts in them. It don't make no sense to me to put an old solenoid in a unit. I don't do that, and I know that boy Dakota too.
Well, I will call him when I leave here. And
Yeah,
I
well,
will,
just you bring him
I'm
over
going
here.
to go ahead and tell you that he's not going to be able to find a receipt because that receipt come up missing.
Well, you have him come over here and we'll go over. And I remember what I told him, but ain't nowhere in the world I put used solenoids in the unit.
That's what came out of it. That came out of the transmission. If this is new, then I don't know where you're buying your parts at, but I watched you sit over here. You work here.
He don't work
Does that
here.
not look old? That's an old part. When you put these in, it's a clip like this.
I can't. Let me borrow your key that day, bro.
Anyway, get the coat over here. We'll go over with him. But
I mean, if you can't make this right, the only other option I have is to go to Consumer Affairs, Better Business Bureau, and Angie's List and all the other social media stuff. I mean, it's only right if you pay for the parts that I've already paid for. That's the only fair thing to do.
I told you I didn't do the work for you. Have Dakota come over and I go over with him. And see if I can find a receipt. But if I told him I put new solenoids in it, that's what he got.
These are not new.
Man, I can't keep arguing with you.
All right, good thing I was recording it though.